All right, today we're going to talk about something that's simple, but honestly, it's incredibly powerful. This isn't about how much money you have, it's about a way of thinking that can literally change everything: how you see your goals, your growth, and your life. So let's dive right in.
I want you to really think about that for a second. When I say the word rich, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it the fancy cars, the huge houses? Because, what we're about to get into is, well, it's so much deeper than that. It's something that lasts a whole lot longer than any material thing you can buy.
So, what is this rich mindset really? At its core, it's all about a commitment to always be growing. It's an internal thing. It's a way of looking at the world and seeing opportunities everywhere instead of limits. And it's this fundamental difference in perspective that we're going to break down piece by piece. So, where does this whole difference even start? Well, it begins the second things get tough. That moment when you get pushed just a little bit past what feels comfortable or easy. Let's take a look at how each mindset reacts when that pressure hits. Okay, so check this out. For the poor mindset, that feeling of discomfort, that's a huge stop sign. It's a signal that something's wrong, that it's time to back off and go back to what's safe. But the rich mindset, it sees that exact same feeling completely differently. It's not a stop sign, it's a signpost. It tells you that this feeling, this friction, this is what growth actually feels like. I absolutely love this way of thinking about it, right? When you're lifting weights, your muscles have to tear just a little bit to get stronger. It hurts, but you know that's where the progress is. That discomfort is productive. Well, the rich mindset just applies that same exact logic to everything else: learning a new skill, starting a scary project, or facing any kind of challenge. So if you're leaning into that discomfort, that way of thinking bleeds into everything else, especially how you approach work and what you're trying to get out of it. It really comes down to playing the long game versus just chasing those quick wins. And this is a huge shift, you guys. The poor mindset is all about the immediate reward. What's the paycheck look like? It's a transaction. But the rich mindset, it's playing a totally different game. It's focused on a different kind of currency: skills. It knows that what you learn becomes a part of you, an asset that'll pay you back for the rest of your life, long after that one paycheck is gone. And this long-term thinking goes way beyond just your job. It's about how you use all your resources: your time, your energy, and yeah, your money. Think about it. Are you pouring your energy into things that just look good right now but have zero future value? Or are you putting it into things that are actually going to take care of you down the road, like your skills, your health, or your relationships? This metaphor just nails it, I think. The fake flowers, they give you that instant gratification, right? They look perfect from the get-go. But that's it. They're never going to grow, never going to give you shade, and eventually they just fade. But planting a tree, well, that takes some patience, some work up front, but you're building something real, something that lasts and actually gives back. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about something we all deal with. I'm talking about fear. Doesn't matter who you are, how successful you seem, everybody feels it. The real difference, though, is how we respond to that feeling. See, here's the thing a lot of people get wrong. The goal is not to get rid of fear. That's just impossible. The rich mindset doesn't mean you have less fear. It just means you've learned not to let that fear drive the car. You acknowledge it, you can even let it sit in the passenger seat, but your hands are the ones on the wheel, and you keep moving forward. And this is a trap so many of us fall into, right? We think, I'll start when I feel confident, but that's completely backward. Confidence isn't something you need to get started, it's something you get from starting. Every little step you take, every time you act, even though you're scared, you're laying another brick in the foundation of real, genuine confidence. So once you start taking action, even when you're scared, it naturally leads to this next point. And honestly, this might be one of the biggest mindset shifts of all. We're talking about the difference between blame and responsibility. Picture this: something goes wrong. The immediate reaction for a poor mindset is to look around and ask, whose fault is this? The economy, my boss, bad luck, whatever. It might make you feel better for a second, but it leaves you completely powerless. The rich mindset, though, asks a totally different question, a much more powerful question. Okay, what can I do differently next time? And let's be super clear here. This is not about beating yourself up. It's not about blame at all. It's about recognizing the one thing you actually have control over in any situation, and that's you. When you focus on your own choices and actions, you stop being a passenger in your own life and you get back in the driver's seat. All right, this brings us to our last point. And in my opinion, this might just be the most profound difference of them all. This is about what happens after you start to succeed. It's about how you see success itself, not just your own, but other people's too.
Just really think about that for a second. If you help someone else get a win, does that somehow make your own win smaller? The way you answer that question says a lot about the mindset you're operating from.
So, a poor mindset, what we call a scarcity mindset, basically sees the world as a limited pie. If someone else gets a big slice, well, that means there's less left for you. But a rich mindset, an abundance mindset, it knows that's not how it works at all. It understands that success isn't a zero-sum game. Helping others, sharing what you know, cheering for their wins, that doesn't take away from you. It actually creates a better, more successful world for everyone.
And this last metaphor just wraps it all up so perfectly. When you share your knowledge, your support, your passion, you don't lose any of your own light. You just make the whole room brighter for everyone, including yourself.
So, as we wrap this up, the final question is really for you. Which of these ways of thinking are you practicing every day? Are you running from discomfort or leaning into it? Are you working just to earn or are you working to learn? Are you lighting other people's candles? Because at the end of the day, the mindset you choose to build is the one that is actively creating your tomorrow.